HEMPWORX, there's over 25,000 products that can be created using hemp. This is one of the most vital plants to mankind, and we're bringing it back to life.
Josh came home with some oil that he had been kind of behind the scenes working on. As soon as I tried it, I knew that things were beginning to change. So we began looking at ways to mass produce this oil so that we could bring it to everybody globally.
When we decided to launch HEMPWORX, we knew
Hi, Christopher. Hello, Bridget.
unique products.
We're just about a couple minutes away.
That were affordable, products that were different than what's out there in the market. And I believe we had to find and secure partnerships with the top farms and give it.
A lot of other oils out there are not using the extraction method that we have. What separates HEMPWORX from other products that I've tried is, for one, we don't mix the product with any other fillers.
Many people brought their CBD in and it goes through a process where it gets bleached and neutralized. And by the time it gets here, it's not what it was before.
It's going good. Going good, Christopher.
And we found
Just trying to, it's my first one that I'm doing. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and see what we got. A couple people here. I don't expect there to be a big turnout because of being so short notice, but I just wanted to be able to try her out for a test run. How are you feeling? Are you getting all rehabilitated, Christopher?
The highest quality and the purest CBD products to the rest of the world. And our two flagship products are our CBD oils. They come in two concentrations, a 500 milligram and a 750 milligram concentration. And there's two flavors, a peppermint flavor and a natural flavor. What's so amazing about this?
Hey, Andy Biondo, if you're on the road, buddy, be careful. Careful, I just saw that you were driving.
It's also known as the ECS. There's CB1 receptors.
God, you know, it sucks getting old. I wish these drops would help isolate.
Receptors are activated when you take products that are high in CBD. So by taking our CBD oil, you're activating the CBD.
All right, that's cool, Christopher.
After I began trying,
Do you feel back to normal, Christopher?
that they were lifting, and I knew that I could use myself.
So we have three topicals.
Hey, Jim Oliveri.
Revive and Relief. Renew is an anti-aging cream.
Okay.
It's got CBD.
Hey, Bridget, well, you're on mute, so I don't know if you can hear me. But, hey, Jim Oliveri, how you doing? Every time I see you and I think of you, I feel that you're, I remember I'm the guy that dropped you on your head. I'm sorry about that, Jim. 30 years later, I'm sorry about that. Cool, Christopher. We're going to give it just another minute or two.
Exclusively grow and manufacture CBD and hemp products.
Tammy Nikoloff. Hi, Tammy. There's a blast from the past.
We know how it's grown. We can see the leaves. We can get all the test data that we need. And that's a big
Tammy, you may find a part of this interesting on how something can help pets, especially dogs.
Our agricultural partners have an in-house team of scientists.
Sounds good, Andy. Well, I'll do my best that I can to get back home. I'm still 3 hours away from OP, but I'll try to get back. It'd be great to meet up with you somewhere. I think I saw you once at one of the Gaunch Fests. That might be it.
Number 3, Fresh Lock Drying is a
I have to wear these glasses because
partners have
every once in a while you're going to see me go like that, even with glasses.
pathogens that happen during flash processing. So to the end consumer, that means that by the time you get the finished product,
I'm going to give one more minute here.
We're so confident as a company that we're giving.
I'll give it to 3:05 and then I'm just going to start.
That's out there on the market.
I am just outside of Ithaca, Andy. So it's about 3 hours away.
Farm Bill, it's legal to sell and ship these products across state lines as long as you have less than 0.03% THC by weight. One of the ways that we've become compliant as a company is we have upheld all of the federal standards and restrictions when it comes to CBD and hemp because of
3:03. Like I said, we'll give it to about 3:05. See if a couple other people will join. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. It's nice to see you, Andy. Diapers. Who told you? Who told you I'm wearing diapers, adult diapers? People ask me, do I wear adult diapers? And I say, depends. Ba-dum-bum. Hey, Emily. I'm glad you joined. We're going to start in about 1 minute, Emily. Just going to give another minute to a few more folks to show up. I want to thank you guys for being here so far. I'm going to keep it brief. Like I said, I want to, this is sort of a test run. And I'm looking forward to being able to streamline future broadcasts so it's not boring, you know, to anyone. Emily, you're finally here. Did you have trouble getting here, or you should have gotten an invitation? Hopefully it works out. But I am not going to hold you people up at all. I am glad you are here, so people will join on hopefully a little bit as we get going here. But I don't want to hold you people up. And I'm going to tell you something before I even go. Thanks a lot, Andy. Being as I started to get you all, or get all excited about talking about this oil and stuff, during this process, I've talked to more and more people about physical ailments that they have. And this video is not going to be a sales pitch thing. Like I said, I'm going to sort of wing it. Hey, Scott, glad you came aboard. And I just want to start to spread the word about what I'm doing with what I have here and things. So I'm going to get right to it. What I would like to do is to start with a brief prayer. If you're a person of faith, please join in. Even if you are suffering or have somebody that you know is suffering and you want to take a minute to just think about that person, whoever your higher power is, you're more than welcome to join me in this brief prayer because there are so many people that are suffering. Dear Lord, thank you for your many blessings. Today, believers gather to ask for your healing touch. So many people are dealing with so many issues, Lord. Touch them, heal them in mind, in body, and in spirit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you for sharing in that prayer with me. Feel free to share this whole thing with people after it's done. You'll be able to refer back to it and share to people. Perhaps there's somebody that would appreciate that prayer. So thank you for joining me in that. If you decide to leave right now, I appreciate you more than anything for coming into the video and participating in that prayer. And I'm just going to get into it. So this is, as I said, first of all, it's nice to see everybody. If you're watching now, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this as a recorded session, I hope you'll get something out of it. I welcome you, and please message me anytime saying you'd like to be aware of future seminars or live streaming, anything that I might be putting together to help talk about this wonderful thing called CBD oil. So this will be a brief introduction. There's so much science behind things. I don't want this to be about that. I want this to be for the first time person possibly hearing about CBD oil. And I'm just going to start to talk, and occasionally you'll see me reach down for some notes so I don't forget what I wanted to do. And you feel free to comment and post questions. If I don't acknowledge them right away, I will acknowledge them before the end of the broadcast or right after. At the bottom, or at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to post this, and there will be in the comments section, I'm going to post some different links that I may refer to in this short video. So, getting started, I want to talk, why am I talking about CBD oil? You may have some preconceived notions of what it is. I know that most of the people that are on right now have an awareness of what it is, so they'll bear with me a little bit. You've seen over the past few years more and more stories and relevance to the changing marijuana cannabis industry as far as legality, medical, medicinal, recreational. Colorado was the first state to launch, things like that. So there's been a lot of changes on things, and there's some states it's illegal for the recreational side and the medical side. Some states it's not. Federally, across the board currently, it is not recognized on a federal level, although they seem to be leaving the industry alone. The great thing, or what I'm going to talk about, is the primary benefit of cannabis. Now, this is not marijuana. If this is not something that has the psychoactive ingredient of THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, which is the agent that if a guy smokes a joint or a girl smokes a joint, they're going to catch a buzz. That's not what this is about. That is illegal in the majority of states. And even if you have marijuana, it is not the same thing as the oil, because marijuana is higher in THC, that psychoactive ingredient, and it's often very low in CBDs, which I'm going to be referring to. So I don't want you to put the two together. They come from the same plant, but they are not processed the same. It would be illegal. The company that I am talking about and working with is called HEMPWORX, with a W, HEMPWRX. And they are fully covered by the FDA, their facility for extracting the proper oil from the hemp plant. And by the way, the hemp plant, which is part of the cannabis genus, the cannabis plant, has been responsible for over 25,000 products throughout history, from paper to ropes to medicinal, a lot. And you can research that as well. So, getting past the stigma that it's marijuana or that it's something that's going to get you high or it's something illegal, we can get past that. This is 100% legal, 100% safe when taken in proper dosage, which I will talk about either in this video or another time. If you choose to inquire more about this product, that's where I can give you specialized, personalized attention. Hey, Bobby, thanks for joining. Got to behave yourself today. Other people can see your comments, so behave. So, right now, over the past few years, you may have heard Dr. Sanjay Gupta. You've heard of different states now legalizing medical marijuana. Here in New York, there's a medical program that's starting to come together. And those medicals will have strains that are have THC concentrate as well as medicinal, and some maybe strictly medicinal depending on what you need. Unfortunately, you have to jump through hoops to get it. And quite frankly, most people are not looking to get stoned. They want to have what is the benefit of the CBD oil. And without getting into the real science stuff, because I can give you hours of psycho or science babble that I don't understand and I'll just be reading, I'll give you a brief description. And I'm going to sort of keep my eye on the time here. And once again, I appreciate you. What am I? Pixelated. Okay, well, I'm sorry about being pixelated, Emily, but it's actually my natural face. No, it's I don't know what other people are seeing, and I'll get feedback on that since this is my first video for live stream. I've done over 200 YouTube videos between my Daryl Fat 50 channel, chronicling my weight loss of over 150 pounds, to the Daryl's Journey videos that I had, where I did a lot of spiritual and Bible readings and things like that. But this is my first live, so bear with me. Oh, Rogue, my wife Rogue just came on and said I'm very pixelated. Well, I'll have to take a look. Maybe the broadcast will be better. The rebroadcast will be better, because I'm looking at it and it's looks fine to me. Oh, she said it's okay now. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. So we're talking about the CBD oil, the differences of marijuana, and over the past few years, you've heard guys like Dr. Sanjay Gupta come out and be very positive about the future of this. And it really is, the industry is going to take off, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So, why did I get involved in this particular product, and why am I selling it? This isn't going to be a commercial or a selling video as much as it is an informed video, and you'll understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you can see the list, and I don't know if you can see that there's a person named Ro Narby on there. Well, she's my wife, and she is suffering with terrible back pain. I won't go into her whole story because of time, and I have a video that I will put a link in the description after this is done, and it will tell you her whole story. But quite frankly, she was in debilitating pain, mainly in her back, and that she was on a series of opiates, and they're helping, I guess. She just seemed to have been in a lot of pain, whether she was on oxycodones or not. So I have a general interest. I've always had an interest in marijuana, its legalization, especially when the medicinal stuff really hit. That's where I started to be really interested in it, because I just find it a fascinating thing, and you get very passionate about things you believe in. Michelle List, thank you for joining here. It's nice of you to be. Yes, Michelle. If you'd have been here on time. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, Michelle, this is something that can be taken, and you will not be catching a buzz. You won't feel that high feeling. It may aid you in the relaxation and anxiety, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I will talk about something regarding drug testing. It's something important for people to know if you're in a position where you may be drug tested. We'll talk about that. But just continuing, I want to talk about a few years ago, during that time when people started to hear things. You may have heard the stories of people literally selling their homes, moving out of a state that had no medical cannabis, marijuana, hemp oils available, because they had a child who was suffering from epileptic seizures. Or they have a person with cancer who was unable to eat because of the chemotherapy and had severe nausea. People were moving. They were packing up and moving because there was no help. And some were finding help that did not move through kind-hearted people who were more than likely coming from the marijuana side of things, because there was no medicinal oils available in a state that it's illegal. So there were some very kind-hearted people that knew about marijuana, enjoyed marijuana, and started to make their own oil for people. And it was called black market oil. These people literally would be in their kitchen, taking their plants, doing whatever you have to do to extract oil, and it was working for people. They would literally be angels of mercy and go to people's houses and say, here's what it is. Some people probably sold it. A lot of people gave it away to people in hopes that a few droplets in their child's mouth would help them. Well, it was helping many people. And that's how this movement all got started. Now, with that you also came the difficulty of the homegrown chemist trying to figure out dosing and figure out quality and figuring out best ingredients, the best strains to use. They don't want children to get high when all they want to do is help the kid have less stressful seizures or no seizures at all. So as time goes by, things have progressed and companies started to produce hemp oil. Now you can go to a supermarket and buy cheap hemp seed oil, and it doesn't contain the CBDs. It's hemp oil from squeezed seeds, and they use that in cooking just as much like somebody might use coconut oil, or they use vegetable oil or whatever, olive oil, but it doesn't have the medicinal value. So now 2014 comes along. The movement has been caught a lot of progression with the I'm going to jump on this and speed this up a little bit because I did say 20 minutes. So progression came along, and it started to allow for the 2014 Farm Bill, which allowed people to start growing hemp again as long as it followed FDA guidelines, as long as it had less than 0.03 trace of THC. THC is that active ingredient. Point THC is not going to get you high, but may aid this product in the anxiety stress relief benefit. Okay. That being said, I don't want to forget this point, is that that psychoactive amount of THC that is in this oil from HEMPWORX, and I'll show it to you for the first time. This is the 750, the strongest drops, comes in a 1 ounce bottle with an eyedropper. You put it under your tongue. If you're interested in finding out more about it, we will talk personally where I can tell you about things without wasting too much time on this video. The oil from this place is created in the hemp is derived from Colorado and Kentucky, 2 states that are allowed to grow hemp, and they take great pride in the quality of their Michelle, yes, I am long-winded. Those 2 states take great quality in their product. 1, because the FDA requires it, and 2, they want to be an industry leader in providing this. So my wife's in terrible pain. I see this. A friend of mine, a classmate, introduces me to what I'm doing right here. I start looking at the stuff. I start going onto YouTube. Go onto YouTube, research this stuff, and you will find testimony after testimonial to things like this, and you may or may not believe it. First and foremost, the majority of people that want this stuff is because it helps chronic pain. Whether that chronic pain is through arthritis, fibromyalgia, lupus, whether it's through rheumatoid arthritis, old age, you had an injury for a long time ago, you were in a car accident and you've never been the same, these drops are helping people. Now, am I going to say it's going to be the magic pill, magic drop for you? No, I don't know. I don't want to make those claims, but I have to go by real people. Go to YouTube, punch in HEMPWORX, HEMPWRX reviews. Okay? Now, you will find, oh boy, a lot of these people are selling it. I'll explain why. And just keep in the back of your mind, when somebody wants to sell something, they're going to say good things. But if somebody really believes in the product working, they're going to sell it and be excited and passionate about it as I am. So how do I know it's working? My first hand is my wife, Rose. She's downstairs right now, and she's on the computer right now. Hi. And her, like I said, I'm going to have a link to her story about her use of how she quickly became better and is using it, and what happened when she went off of it. I want to talk about me for a minute, As you can see, I've got a lot of pills here. You might be noticing on TV, there's a ton of stuff going on about opiate abuse and prescriptions in the pharmaceutical industry, just pumping out everything. And after a while, it gets ridiculous. I'm just going to put this over here for a second. And I just want to give you a brief analogy. I'm going to let you in a little bit on my private life, if you will, through my past medical issues and anxiety issues and things like that. And I'm going to tell you where I was and now where I am with the help of the 750 drops. You can see I got 5 bottles up here. I'm just going to, I forgot how I stacked them. So first one, temazepam. This is a sleeping pill that I can get represcribed anytime I want to help you sleep. Many people are reaping the benefits of this and do not need to take a sleeping pill. The next, diazepam. This is a full bottle of Valium that helps in conjunction with another medicine to aid my anxiety and perhaps some of manic depression that I have. I have nothing major going on. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Shut up. You shut up. Sorry. Diazepam, Valium, very powerful. It's is prescribed right along with that sleeping pill. I have Effexor. Prozac. When I started taking Prozac wasn't strong enough for me, so the doctor, who was a lovely man, prescribed me something stronger called Effexor. That's another pill that I have the ability and option to take. This helps with anxiety. This helps with post-traumatic stress disorders. Stress. This pill is my baclofen. This is for muscle spasms. These are all controlled substances. And this is for muscle spasms. And I can take up to 4 of these a day, up with my 1 venlafaxine vaccine, my 2 sleeping pills, and up to 4 Valium a day if I want. That's a heck of a cocktail. But I'm not done yet. I also have hydrocodone, which is commonly known as Vicodin. Controlled substance. So I have all 5 of these. I've got for muscle spasms, I've got pain relief, I've got anxiety, and through the Valium, I've got sleeping pills, and I have my actual anxiety medicine. I've been able to take those 5 medicines. I haven't cut them out. I'm not there yet. I don't want to be there. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Leanne. We're about 3/4 through. I hope you'll watch the replay. It's nice to see you. That's my cousin Leanne. I'm happy she's here. Rose on too. Dave Brown. Hey Dave, thanks for joining. At the end of this broadcast, you'll be able to rewatch it. So I appreciate you joining me. So that's where I am with my pharmaceuticals. Pain relievers, stress relievers, sleeping pills, all prescribed. All I have to do is ask. Somebody just gave me some love. I appreciate that. With the CBD oil, I've been able to cut this stuff into half. And I could probably go more, but, you know, I'm not going to go crazy because I want to conserve this stuff because my wife is the primary person that I want to have it. I've got the pills. Her pills aren't working anymore for pain as well as they used to. This is. She took this. Within the first dose the next day, she said, I feel better. Now, she also thought that it might just be psychosomatic. I take something and I'm going to feel better because my mind tells me to. Something you have to know about my wife is she was not raised with any knowledge or experience with marijuana or any of that stuff. So she doesn't have really any clue. And she was also a school teacher. And she had very strong issues, as anybody should, about the use of drugs. Well, we know those times are changing, not for children, but for adults. These things are for this product, and this product line is for people over 18 years old. And I want to just give you her tremendous response is what got me passionate about this. First day, she felt better. Second day, she felt better. Third day, she felt better. More pep in her step. She was able to stand up straighter. Her disposition was better. I'm going to pay for that one when I get downstairs. But her overall sense of well-being was better. And that was enough to sell me on the idea. So why am I selling? Why aren't I just not buying them, selling them? Why do I have to sell everything? Because one, I'm excited. Two, I want to make some money, but I also want to make some money to help offset the price of this stuff. Now, before everybody leaves, I'll just be honest with you. If somebody said you need to pay $70 or $100 for a Mercedes-Benz, you would say, oh my God, I'll take it in a second. If somebody says you got to pay that amount for something like this, you might be a little skeptical and your budget might be a little tight. So, I know one thing. My wife, as long as we are breathing, she will not be without these drops. Come hell or high water, the money's going to be found. I'm selling this stuff because I'm passionate about the quality, I'm passionate about the results, I am passionate about the ability to make some money selling this stuff to help her never be without it. And that's why you'll see tons and tons of testimonials on YouTube from people doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. Okay? Message me any questions and we'll talk more. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction, and I'm going to be actually getting close to wrapping this up, but there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. The CBD is cannabinoids. That's the active part of the hemp plant that provides the medicinal value from the stalk, and leaves, not from the flower. The flower contains the THC, which is illegal at the federal level, and that is where people get high from. This does not contain that except for that trace amount that I spoke of, and you'll want to talk to your employer prior to purchasing. And talk to me, and I'll talk to you more in depth about your specific needs in that. But some of the conditions that you will see when you go onto YouTube and see the results are going to be things, number one, chronic pain. Like I said before, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, just old age, results from an accident, perhaps you have an autoimmune fibromyalgia, lupus. People have testimonies up there. If you are an animal person and you have a dog, and you're so used to giving glucosamine and chondroitin, and you're hoping that it's helping your dog. My company, HEMPWORX, has a product for pets. The strengths for adults come with 500 and 750. This is the most powerful. They have a 250 for dogs, along with dog treats that are infused with this oil. There's a video of a pug with Lyme disease that after the drop, before the drops, he was dragging his legs. It was the saddest thing. After a dose or two of these drops, the dog was standing and walking on all fours with a tail wagging. It's amazing stuff, okay? So, 1964, CBD isolation was reported, and it was the beginning of the cannabinoid synthesization. Excuse me. Easy for you to say. And what that means is the medical industry determined that we have an endocannabinoid system with receptors that are geared to be, throughout time and evolution, geared to accept the oil and allow this oil to use those receptors in a way of healing. And that is exciting. And if you want to know more, message me and I can do the research for you and send you links. So I just want to read in brief. They give you all the scientific stuff in here. I want to read something a little bit more basic. And it just basically is, how does CBD work in the body? CBD, or cannabinol, is the main active compound in hemp, and unlike THC, is not psychoactive. So it doesn't make people high. Instead, it triggers the body's endocannabinoid system, which features receptors throughout the brain and body that will relieve anxiety, calm down, anti-inflammatory, that's where your pain comes from, relieves excessive pain, promotes bone growth, and also has neuropathic healing properties for those people with those nerve-related diseases. So that's what all the kind of stuff that it can do. I'm selling it to help offset the price. I'm passionate about the product. My wife will never go out without it. I will do my best to have enough for myself to get off all 5 of those medicated, controlled substances, especially with the way they're cracking down on opiates and that. Things are not as easy. They're turning more and more to this stuff themselves. My wife went to the doctor and told her about exactly this product, and he said, go for it. Go for it. He said he would make the whole cannabis industry legal for his practice in New York if he could. He was just worried that they wouldn't be able to handle the amount of people coming in for it, and that's no joke. And that was a pretty powerful statement coming from a medical practice that always looking to grow their customers. Love you too, Leanne. So, I've given you a brief overview of some of the claims that it's being made. I've given you an overview of how it's come to nature, passed from being something that's had a stigma of just being a stoner thing to people moving so their child can get it. Now they don't have to do that anymore. And now, instead of some guy cooking it on a pot out of the goodness of his heart to extract oils, there is a company, an FDA-approved company out of Colorado and Kentucky that is growing the finest hemp, and the FDA requires strict guidelines on their extraction process. That THC level cannot go above the law. So therefore, you've got something that's protected, finally. The products that are available, I'll just go over. I'm not going to do any kind of hard sell, but I just want you to know they have the herbal drops. That is what I have tried. That is what my wife uses. I have not tried these other products, but you can go to YouTube, punch it in, and there'll be somebody there that has them, uses them, and will give you a review. I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt and say, oh, they're all fantastic. I can only go by what other people are saying, just like you're listening to me. HEMPWORX oil, it worked for my wife. Severe pain, she couldn't bend over without moaning. She couldn't walk straight, she couldn't walk quickly. And she knows I love her, and she's actually on here as well, watching. So it has things like the herbal drops. It also has a facial cream it's infused. I don't know much about it. Everybody looks beautiful to me except for Bob and Mac. There's also a relief icy rub that they offer infused with the hemp oil. I'm not going to give my opinion because I haven't tried it. I think the drops are the ticket, but I may change that if something happens and my wife wants to try this other stuff. You bet I'm going to try to get as much as I can and have as much as in hand. It's all a financial issue because I want to be able to bring it to you people as well. And the more you buy, the cheaper it is. So we're with that. So they have the oil, they have some creams, they have a anti-aging, a few, I shouldn't say a lot, they have about 4 or 5 products. They also have a pet care line of drops, just like those, except at the 250 milliliter strength, as well as they have biscuits. So I am going to wrap that up, this up basically with saying that I want you to message me, I want you to throw me any comments, I would like you to inquire. I won't give you the hard sell, I'll just give you the best information I can get, and if I don't have it, I'll find it for you. I have websites that will have things. There's a great video on a website that would ask, if you have the least bit interest in this, I'll give you the website, and I want you to punch on the video and watch it. It takes you from start to finish as to why this was created. A lot of the same stuff I just went over. I hope you enjoyed this brief video, this introduction to HEMPWORX oil. I hope you'll be in contact with me. Be glad to talk to you more. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything too bad. I mentioned the links. I mentioned that Bobby Mack is quite a character. And I want to thank you for joining me. God bless you. I pray for all of you, all of your loved ones that might be suffering, and I also pray that we can make this a success together. And peace, I love you, and I am out.